Horror. It comes in many flavors, but video games have a unique ability to immerse you into a scenario. They make the horror personal. They make it about you. In many ways, video games are the perfect method for conveying horror, especially from a writer's perspective. Due to the things happening to the player and not some actor on screen, this can actually make games that aren't even intended to be in the horror genre to actually be surprisingly dark. It is often said that one of the most traumatizing games that you could play is Insurgency Sandstorm, and quite frankly, I'd agree. This game is something else entirely, being so accurate that when a teammate is incapacitated, you can even hear their last words as they choke on their own blood. But, other than being traumatizing, Insurgency Sandstorm is a very well-made game in the milsim genre by New World Interactive, releasing in 2018 to pretty good success, especially for games of its caliber. But what contributed to this success, you may ask? Simple. Insurgency has a complete commitment to delivering a realistic portrayal of asymmetrical warfare, with none of the fat cut. Let's get into what that actually means. Starting with the meat and potatoes of a first-person shooter, the gunplay. Using a gun in Insurgency feels grounded. You hear every click and clack that your rifle makes as you reload. Reloading in Insurgency also has two separate methods, one being a faster reload at the cost of dumping the magazine on the ground, and the other being a more slow and meticulous approach, keeping the mag for later. You see, Insurgency actually keeps track of every individual mag, and reloading before one is fully empty will put that half-used mag back into your inventory, which you can later load if things get that desperate. This reloading system brings a variable to shooting that many games don't have, needing to keep track of your ammo. You can press X to see how much ammo is in your mags, however this will leave you defenseless for a moment, and that little moment could be all it takes for an insurgent to take off your head. Clearly, you should be very careful about how you approach any given situation. Use cover to the best of your abilities, as a couple shots is all it takes to drop you. So, let's try to get shot, eh? Listen out for your enemies talking to one another, as it can often reveal their position before you ever see them. Oh yeah, and when you do shoot an enemy, word of advice, don't stick around and maybe just buy some earmuffs. Let's just move on. When an enemy shoots near you and misses, it will crack, much like in real life. But if this shot was close enough, it'll even blur your vision, almost as if the dust that the shot kicks up actually got in your character's eyes. This attention to detail is absolutely insane, and I was amazed by this when I first found it out. Moving on to the guns in the game, and wow. This game sure does have quite a selection in some of the highest fidelity that you can find. Every gun looks absolutely stunning and feels the exact way they look. Every punch and kick from a gun's recoil just feels right, and with the absolutely gorgeous sounds. I'm actually imagining the gunshot sounds as I'm writing this in the script. Oh hi, did I mention the visuals? Oh yeah, for a milsim game, Insurgency can be absolutely gorgeous, thanks to both the hard work of the developers and the extremely well-rounded Unreal Engine, which, here's your fun fact for the day, Unreal Engine has been around since 1998, making it one of the oldest engines in the industry, up there with the big boys of gaming design, like the Source engine. Anyways, back to Insurgency. This game is extremely well made, but how does it traumatize? Simple. Heroism. Does this make you feel like a hero? Does stomping down a rebel fighting for what they believe is right make you feel strong? Does murdering a security detail make you feel liberated? Simple truth is that in Insurgency Sandstorm, you are not a hero. Insurgency doesn't glorify your actions, it actively encourages otherwise. You can play a game like COD and feel like a hero, saving democracy from the forces of evil. But in Insurgency, who are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? It's never explicitly shown to you in the game as far as I've looked. You are teams of people fighting in a conflict that nobody outside the country will even remember, if they even hear about it at all. Everything you do in Insurgency is morally ambiguous. It's not a glorious victory when you win, it's scattered radio chatter and moving on to the next mission. Many times a player may even get survivor's guilt after their teammates die. Survivor's guilt is a psychological condition where a person feels intense guilt after surviving a traumatic event when others did not. When playing co-op game modes in Insurgency, you only have one life per objective, so you have to value your team and move together. You can see in this clip that I hold the angle here for my teammate Dylan to get across the street. He then does the same for me. That tactical movement strategy, whilst isn't needed, is actually recommended. You should be working with your team to the best of your abilities. This is where having friends comes in. I know, scary. Convincing a friend to install Insurgency and play the game with you can actually be really hard. But I did actually manage to get the aforementioned Dylan to play Insurgency. So let's just cut to the interview, yeah? Let's just cut to it, yeah. So, do you have much experience playing games like this?
Well, I played a lot of COD. I haven't played a Muslim. I played a lot of COD, but I haven't played a Milswim game before.
Do you think Insurgency is going to be fun?
Hell yeah, it's going to be great, man.
So, how was it? It's safe to say that Insurgency is an experience. Definitely one that we can learn from. This game is a good reminder that war isn't pretty. It's dirty, it's loud, it's painful, it's every little thing that most people in modern times will never have to experience. And that is what makes it so unique. It's dark. You know what else is dark? Night missions. The night hides all sins and reveals all fears, and that is no clearer in Insurgency. Upon joining a match, you will very quickly find out whether or not it's a bright out or not. Shocker, I know. Whether or not it's night can play a big part. The experience in the day and the experience in the night are completely different. Again, shocker. Night ops are the true testament to realism. The night is pitch black without night vision goggles, and it's obviously not the most exhilarating experience, especially considering you'll spend most of your time with either a black screen or a headache-inducing green. Although, it does feel badass. Whilst night ops aren't necessarily amazing to play, you haven't had the entire Insurgency experience until you've played it at least once. It's a very unique experience that shows you exactly what it's like to be in the field in modern times. Many games either have too much of a disconnect or in a completely different time period. I'm looking at you, Hell Let Loose, although that game is really good. For starters, Insurgency has some great character customization options, both on the guns and the player character, on both separate teams. And one of the best parts is that none of these customization options look dumb. Every last option in the character creation menu can be purchased with credits that you earn. You hear that? Earn! No store page here, bucko. Although, there are gear sets that you can buy, which is fair for a game of the scale. These microtransactions are literally minuscule, coming at £2.49 because I'm British.
No, you're not gonna do shit!
These gear sets are actually really nice to look at, and they give no tactical advantage whatsoever. I'm actually considering buying this one myself. Each gear pack usually gives one full set of clothing, but you can buy a bundle for slightly less at £7.99. These bundles are a very good deal, giving one weapon skin set for each team and one outfit set for each team. This here is the most egregious looking skin. This is the craziest it gets. The red dark weapon skin set, and for some weird ass reason, I can't even buy it on the Xbox store. It just won't let me. Back to it. We'll separate customization into two categories, pure cosmetic and stat affecting. Every stat affecting customization is completely free, not while behind credits or even a leveling system. You are completely able to play this game without spending a single penny. You'll unlock every class after a little while of playing. This leveling system is absolutely required for these other classes, as these ones have limits. There can only be so many of a certain class on a certain team. For example, one sniper. The only class that has no limit is the bog standard rifleman. He's bland, he doesn't have very much special about him, but he can definitely still have his moments. Every other class is a specialised field, whether it's Demolition Man or a more specialised marksman class. These classes matter a whole lot, and these positions decide what weapons you can equip at a certain time. For example, breachers get shotguns and SMGs, while others cannot. Marksmen get sniper and DMR type weapons, that type of thing. Obviously, the specialised classes need to be only for more experienced players, more epic gamer gods. Every team needs different things. Some teams might be less inclined to suppress targets, some might have worse aim, thus leading to large groups of enemies just walking free, not even shot once. This is bullshit! And thus, specialist classes fill that gap. Let's talk about the weapon customization. If you're anything like me, you'll spend 99% of your time in this damn menu. Weapon customization revolves around these. These tokens decide how your loadout is built. You have a set 20 tokens. Every item, like your primary, your secondary, and everything in between, costs a set amount of tokens. Usually the higher token items are better. Just remember, a bullet from a bargain bin gun will still hit just as hard as a brand spanking new one, so long as it's the same caliber, which actually matters in this game. Look here. You have to make the choice to either have a very well made rifle with cardboard armour, or a meh rifle with some pretty neat armour. Every little thing in your loadout has a trade-off. This makes almost any choice an extremely interesting decision. Personally, whilst I got the footage for this video, I actually thought of a pretty good build for the AKM, so I decided to try it out. And wow. A word of advice? Always try new things. You never know what's going to work. I'll catch you later. This is the obligatory part of the video where I ask you to like and subscribe. I wanted to make a slightly shorter video this time, just a quick pop about a game I find cool. Around 10 minutes or so. Did I do that? Close enough. I love this game, I will play it to my death. Bye bye.